It's the entertainment capital of the world, and our entertainment tonight is high speeds down the Las Vegas Strip. Welcome along to the Vegas Grand Prix. Well, tonight we go racing around the bright lights of Las Vegas, 3.8 miles under the Nevada night sky and thousands of neon lights. There are landmarks everywhere you look, punctuating the 17 corners and 2 DRS zones. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Antonelli, Carlos Sainz, and Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Bortoleto, Doohan, and Oscar Piastri, Verstappen, Norris, Lance Stroll, and Tsunoda, Hadjar, Martins, Liam Lawson, and Pierre Gasly, Hülkenberg, Albon, Behrman, and Ritomo Miata rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Quitting while you're ahead, not spending too much on the slot machines and trying to get some decent sleep. That's my main 3 challenges here in Las Vegas, but what about the drivers?
Yeah, speaking about the on-track challenges, Crofty, enough about you and your challenge over the weekend. This track, you're on Monza downforce, don't forget. So every corner that comes your way, you've got way less grip than you're accustomed to in a Formula One car. So you've got to tread carefully, particularly around the higher speed content on the circuits.
Okay, let's try not to worry about being down here at the back. You've got the speed, you've got the car, so just take it easy and the race will come to you.
Yes, the race will should be coming to Miata as we are obviously beginning our famous long plan straight away because there is no point to qualifying due to the fact that I had to change everything, the component and the car. So it's like, what's the point of partaking the qualifying? So I kind of abandoned it because there's no point, and hoping we do a pretty good job and try and score minimum P10, so 1 point at best, but that's pretty much quite reasonable places considering the form that Miata has been dealing with in the last couple of races. So I'm hoping he will finally find something and get back into it. And also it's another episode with steering wheel, and it's pretty much going to be like that from now on until however long it takes in F125, and now the light is ready to go out with both Ferrari on 1-2. Charles Leclerc immediately cut over to Lewis Hamilton, tried to tell him you're not coming though, and he stayed in the P1 while Hamilton going to take that second place at the yellow in third, battling with George Russell, who's actually going to try and overtake at the yellow, and he's done that. He's now up in third place, and Russell of course did have a good performance on our famous last season where he got his win, dominated long plan. He's looking to repeat that this season. We got Miata make a 3-1 with Victor Martin and Pierre Gasly, and it seems that Miata joined side by side now with Gasly. Can Miata get ahead? He braked later than Pierre Gasly, but he's gone off the track. Miata gone off the track. He basically drove back. No penalty, no warning. They knew that Miata lost a bit of a control. So that's fine, but he's now back in the fight with Victor Martin, now joined side by side, and we know things between them two can be getting a little sour. Of course, last episode in Brazil, Victor Martin should have scored the point with Miata, but unfortunately Miata obviously had the bad racing, and Victor Martin spun out on track. There ain't no, like, we should have scored a point last episode basically, so we have to try and do that here. And we got Hamilton and Tommy Little on the outside. Can Hamilton get past Charles Leclerc and take that P1? It seemed like he did. Yeah, Hamilton is now takes the lead of the famous long plan, and don't forget this season, his final season, Hamilton is retiring after the Abu Dhabi, and it's going to be very weird not seeing him on the list anymore. And George Russell is of course going to try and get involved in a fight. We also got Russell, who's just going for the move on Charles Leclerc, just later down the line in the final slip. The George and Charles Leclerc are having a battle now. Him George lost to get ahead of Charles Leclerc and stealing a lot of time, and that finds going on. The auto Jordan Lando Norris, who's actually down P12, having a little battle with Jack Jubal. He has to try to do something here, but he needs to beat Matt Verstappen and try to get that podium so he can stay in the contender for the championship. But he's just overtaken 2 cars already. He's about to overtake the Prix. Till the day he's done, yes he did. Lando Norris just overtaken 3 cars in the final slip. Up until the corner as well. That was incredible from Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc now having a battle with George Russell. He's had to try to defend it, but Russell is looking really quick right here. So fantastic overtake for Russell. He's very confident in the car, and with John Miata, who now just get involved in the fight with Hazard and Jack Jr. apologies, and Esteban Ocon is about to make a double overtake. Can he pull it off side by side with Esteban Ocon? Miata on the inside line. He backed up from the fight with Ocon. He's been very planning ahead, trying to pick the right strategy to be one. Get that that's being able to avoid. We got Verstappen overtaking Carlos Sainz, and Lando Norris is about to overtake Timmy at the yellow during the outside, and it seemed like he got it done to fantastic work from Lando Norris. And we got Miata, who's now behind Ocon, trying to find a space to get through from Ocon and Fernando Alonso. Wait, that William Albon spun, and he just parked in the middle of the late track, and it's on red flag. Red flag is out. Albon made a severe mistake, but somehow he managed to keep out of the wall. Fantastic job from Alex Albon. The other team now ready to begin our restart off for the red flag, and it's light, and he's out, and away we go with Hamilton is now on the pole with George Russell in the second place, and it seems like JP3 was the turn one. Leclerc on the outside, Russell on the inside, and it's now overtaking Hamilton, and Hamilton locked the plate down to third, and Russell is up in second, and Charles Leclerc is now taking back the lead of the famous long plan, and this time now is the big help for Lando Norris, but he's close enough to Matt Verstappen, and here's a replay, but there was a yellow flag just off of the restart Piastri, sorry, or the Piastri when slow, so which means engine failure. That is very unfortunate for the Piastri. He was not having the best day, but it doesn't explain why, but he's struggling for pay, and that is the reason his car just working properly, so that's a bit unfortunate for the Piastri. And Miata, we can see in P10, so that's pretty good job for Miata, and that now with George Russell now making a fight again to Charles Leclerc. It seemed to be easy one, and Russell was clear overtake ahead of Charles Leclerc, and it seemed like it's going to be approximately top 7. I talked about that now. It seems to be top 5 battle for the win, but Russell started pulling away from Charles Leclerc, and Hamilton looking to get himself involved and overtaken. Charles Leclerc will Matt Verstappen follow through or not. He got the DR, he got the slipstream, but can he get it done? But he's side by side with the both riding. Hamilton inside line, John the outside now. Can he get himself ahead? No, he does not. Charles Leclerc remain ahead, and we now start spacing out the gap from Russell to Lewis Hamilton, who had overtaken Charles Leclerc, and it's now Matt and Lando just got ahead and made the move on Matt, and can he get the move done on Charles Leclerc? He's trying to make a hit solitary overtake, but he's done multiple double, triple overtake. So obviously Lando is on form right now, I think now ahead of Charles Leclerc, and it's up into P, and it got a big chance to try and get that victory that he needed to in order to be able to make the championship alive. And we got Lando and Charles battling, and Newton Tanola and Matt Verstappen are having a battle, and that is not going to help Matt in a favour, because he needs to basically be close to Lando, very close, in order to make sure Lando did not get the chance for the championship. And on board with Miata, who's watching Fernando and Carlos having a battle, and Miata sneaked on the inside and overtaken Fernando Alonso. That's what I call letting the need of fantastic move for Miyata is now to the try and chase down Carlos shot and we got Victor Mars to try to fire the gap to overtake Fernando, but that seemed not to be the case. And Miyata had a little slowing down, knew the taller, but he wanted to have that good exit as he got breathing by ahead of Carlos. Started that with a fantastic work. I can see the live timing, there's more fighting going on. And Lando, knowledge of Tour, got himself back ahead of Charles Leclerc, and now Lando needs to take down Lewis Hamilton and try and get the starting place spacing as much as he can away from Max Verstappen. So at the current moment, he would just be approximately, I think, if my map to come there, just over 6 to 8 points at the moment with Lando to get up closer to P1, P2 and try to get a win. He will be a lot closer to Max when we're heading into Qatar, and Miyata doing a fantastic job, have a good way to be at the locked up, and it's just went into the wall. Miyata just locked up and went straight into the wall. Oh my bloody god, he was doing a fantastic job. I was complimenting that, I was acknowledging that, but he had a bit of a locked up and went straight into the wall. And Hamilton win the famous long point, and that his third victory of the career with the Ferrari, and Charles Sutton and Land another started getting closed up, but he's 58 points. And I think it's safe to say it's over. It might be over.
It's all about flow and pace today, qualifying in Qatar, a high-speed test that will set the grid for tomorrow's race. So welcome along. Welcome back to Qatar and the Lusail International Circuit, a track that has a long history for two-wheeled motorsport action. But tonight, it's the four wheels of F1 that are back, and Lewis Hamilton going for another win here. So we're back here in Lusail, and this is the track map. 3.34 miles, 16 turns, and just one DRS zone out of turn 16. It's already a fast and flowing track after all. There's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS, though, through the long straight and into turn 1. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Russell, Norris, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Leclerc, Miyata, Antonelli, Tsunoda, and Victor Martins, Behrman, Albon, Nico Hulkenberg, and Sainz, Gasly, Hadjar, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Fernando Alonso, Doohan, Ocon, Stroll, and Liam Lawson rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. So we come to Qatar this weekend, and What's the word I'm looking for when I think about the middle part of this track? Relentless.
The whole track's relentless. It's predominantly built to be a motorbike circuit. For an F1 car, that means a lot of G-force. It's hot here, it's humid this time of the year that we come to in Formula One, and this puts pressure on the drivers. It also puts pressure on the car and the demands of the tyres. So it's a brutal circuit.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Yes, we need to try our best just to score the maximum result we can. Because the problem we've been dealing with is form. Because it wasn't really correctly, but there's things we need to try to figure out what we're struggling with. And of course, we only be able to score points in approximately 2 or 3 ways in the start of the season out of 11 ways. That is bizarre. So clearly, we need to try and just score some points here in Qatar. Of course, the thing that was something I'm going to forget very quickly and just do our best in Qatar with the P7, which is fantastic quality we have. And Victor Martin is closer to the point, so hopefully we'll see him in a battle for the point. And Max Verstappen is leading out on the pole with Lando in the fourth. But toward the championship over between them two, it's all about racing for the win. Pretty much, and it's now out. And we've got Max Verstappen, who's on the pole, who's doing a fantastic start. We've got the Prix, who nowhere be seen for ages, got himself in the starting place in the 20, and he's done a pretty good job. But it seems like he's having a battle with Hamilton. But Hamilton stays behind the Prix. No, and Prix is staying now with that starting place. And we've got Leclerc, who's having a battle with Miata, and Leclerc did not really have the good start that he wanted. So Miata, can he get the yes he does? He's sending inside and made up a play up the piece. That is a good start for Miata, a potential chance for some a lot of points coming in for the Brittany Motorsport. And of course, the Construction Championship will be able to stay ahead of the Haas, who is our rival. We can see Oliver Behrman in P10, but Ocon down to P21. So we will win over a lot of points ahead of the Haas, which is really good for us. So hopefully we'll be able to keep it up. And Max Verstappen, who already had a fantastic start and is leading out over 1 second. That explains why he'd be able to have a fantastic season so far, and of course proven why he is now the 5-time world champion. He's not that far behind to Lewis Hamilton for that 7th world champion. He got the biggest chance to get there, and we got Hamilton chasing after the Prix. It looks like he managed to get himself ahead, yet he does. But can Prix defend it? Seems like he does not, and Lando is in 4th behind Prix, and Miata tries to chase down George Russell, trying to find some space to get the move done. And we got Leclerc and Newton Tanola, who is chasing hard after Miata, and of course they are in one of the basically the fastest car this season. And we've got Victor Martin, who put himself up to P11 close to Oliver Behrman, and we should be able to have a pace to help Victor Martin to catch up to Oliver Behrman and secure that P10. That would be a fantastic result for Victor Martin this season, but he's of course been the slowest driver compared to Miata, but he's also the one who'd be able to bring the car home in one piece compared to Miata, who's been crashing quite a lot in the second part of the season. There's a bit of a difference between Miata, who crashed a lot, Victor Martin, who is slow. It's just like literally defeat all over again for Victor Martin, isn't it? But George Russell tried to pull away, but it seems like he does not have that pace that he needed to pull away. As I mentioned that Mercedes is quite quick to see the alongside with Ferrari, McLaren and on Red Bull. But for some reason today, it's not been that case for George Russell. Maybe it's a tyre situation for Mercedes. We know the struggle in a hot condition, so that should be the reason why. And Victor Martin, who's having a battle with Hülkenberg, and Miata sending on the inside, made the move ahead of George Russell and Victor Martin, unfortunately losing place to Hülkenberg and Pierre Gasly in the last time he has it now not back to P13. That is just unfortunate. We don't want to see that from Victor Martin. He had the disadvantage, he had no the other, and George Russell is about to be double overtaken by Charles Leclerc and Newton Torona and Newton now through and Joe Russell dropped down to P8. He was running P5 and he dropped down to P8. I think he got a bit of a pace issue and we got at the yellow who's not running a bad job so far, so I think maybe it's just the tar issue in George's tar, because we've seen that from Victor Martin where he had to run a sective wear on the component. Maybe that's the same situation that Russell is dealing with potentially, I don't know. But Hamilton now got to Piastri, who wants to make a move on the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Can he get through? It seems like he might just be able to make it through. And Matt Verstappen is going slow. Hold on. Matt Verstappen is slow and he's just be overtaken by the car that now moved up to top 3. And I think Matt has got a problem. He is out of the Qatar long plan and engine failure. And I have to say, Matt was lucky that had not happened in the sprint. It didn't matter if it was back to back, that would be massive help for Lando Norris, but unfortunately it came in a lot later and Lando. Unfortunately, I got to for that not to be happening in the sprint. He needed it in the sprint, but that's not the case for Lando Norris. That was very unlucky for Lando not get that happen in the sprint. And Matt, unfortunately for him, he needed it out massively. But he missed it out, unfortunately for him. And Piastri obviously happy to be able to take back the lead and of course try and get his victory in Qatar, because we know about his first race win back in 2023, and of course in last season he didn't get it right. You know, he's done a pretty good job, but this time around he would love and try and chase that victory that he wanted. But this season, I don't think he had the same amount of win compared to Lando Norris. And with Jordan Newton Torona, it now made a move on Miata, and it seems like he's going to get the move done very quickly. And we should see the standing Piastri and Hamilton are having a battle, and Newton is now gone for that fourth play, and Miata looked the back to the original position before Matt ended up doing that. So Miata in rally P5, but at least we're in top 10. I don't care. When we finish a strong, we finish in top 10, and surely the point to try and just collectively keep ourselves afloat in that standing fight against the hat. And we've got Hamilton now making a move on the inside of Piastri. Contact me. I can see the end plate just flamed off. Had Piastri got a fan win, damn it? I think so, yeah. And we can see the live timing Charles Leclerc had just overtaken Miata, but Miata trying to stay back ahead of Charles Leclerc as the joint the inside line, defending it, and it looked like he had pulled it off the fantastic one from Miata, and we can see the replay right now of Hamilton. Oh yeah, that was the bad one. Another Andor, yeah. That's the bad luck for Piastri. No one with that full Hamilton enable for that line, but it just wasn't commutated enough with Piastri, so they came together. We've done 40 incident, a racing incident, and Lando Norris will be taking advantage of that and overtake Piastri. So Piastri will be slugging the entire way in Qatar, but it's the high down forward we need it around here, because it's a lot of fast corner, isn't it? So Piastri has been slugging in a little bit, adding a lot to play to land already, as we already know how he does it. Straight line overtake, just like Newton Torona, and Newton up in P3 now. Piastri just start forward down the order, and that made a fantastic race so far for him in lap 11, just overtaking at the area. He was even part of the fight for that top 10. He was actually out of point, but now Borden alone and potentially to be taking a point for the Alpine. I've not seen them in top 10 for ages, or maybe I should not remembering things correctly. And Miata have now just taken, as we can see, time where it's horrendous. So he's popping in to put a brand new tyre on, hoping to pull off some one-stop strategy we can. And Martin and Albon are having a battle, and Martin now in P11, he had to try and return himself back in that top 10, which we can see is the whole timber. But the problem is, Martin will like to finish P10, but Miata will be putting himself back in the top 10, so the only position Martin to really fight for is the P10, pretty much. But in lap 14, Miata is now going to put himself back into top 10, but P7 right now ahead of George Russell, and Martin, who's already pitted, is down P16 at the moment. not having a race that I'm wanting to be having for sure. And we're just seeing MFD, which I don't know if it had happened ages ago, but we got a real main problem, and that the DRS flap, it just won't open. So anytime I'm inside that DRS zone, we will be losing a lot of the time within that. And unfortunately, I've got a 3-second penalty on our car and our race. So unfortunately, I need to push a little bit harder to speed that gap ahead of these sections and try and just finish in pieces within more than these sections and rounds. I know that we've been spending quite a lot of the time touching Hamilton, and we can see the fight is finally begun for Lando, and Hamilton in lap 20 and Lando just overtaken Lewis Hamilton, and it now just been leading the Qatar Grand Prix. But it doesn't matter, the result will be the same match. It's still the 5-time world champion, and Lando, it gutted about that, but it just happened. Still got another season and another more season to come for himself to try and get that first world title for himself, and we got Piat within P5. And John Lotto made a mistake. Lotto just spun. He had a bit of a loop and spun, and he's coming back on the track, but can he do it safely without causing a crash? We don't want that safety car to come out. That'll be a bit of fun on Miata, but he got the second penalty. But it looks like Lotto is continuing on, but in a lot of players is not in the points anymore, and I think Russell is largely for the confidence in the car. And we can see at the yellow, who's also another Mercedes out of the point, that was the P19. It's not a good day for Mercedes, that is for sure. But like talked about Victor Martin, the other P14, but he got chance to try and get that P10. But can he do it with the pace that he got? I don't know. We find out. We still got approximately 10 laps to go. So we wait and see what will happen. And Victor Martin had to come back. He's turning as he's turning. So Victor Martin, Miata is slugging a little bit. And we got slower. Miata, future teammate, has just been overtaken by Alex Dalborn in lap 25, but slower, and totally beating Fernando Alonso. So maybe we might have made the right move by being large slow, and I hope that did not just take back at me next season while I'm saying the good thing about slow, he had to make sure he loved well for next season. I don't look stupid for starting him on board, but the problem is, Miata has been losing a lot of chances for that P6 finish, but it's definitely touching Taurus to be touching, so that will be a slaughter, and definitely obviously doing pretty good job so far. I was just seeing Miata gone off the track. Miata made a mistake, he's gone off the track. He's now joining back on, but you look that P6 down the P7 and Taurus side, and Alex Dalborn potentially in launch law to be finishing ahead of Miata. And we ought to be finishing P10. I don't want that to happen. We want to finish higher than launch law. Likely, I want to finish P7, but with the tyre wear started kicking in for our tyre, which we can see the MFD is starting to amber now. We have to be careful for it, but we have to make a choice. Do we push hard and just hope for the best? We want to try to put away 3 seconds ahead of Taurus, try to chase down Jacqueline. But you seem to know now it's chasing after Hamilton for that second place, and the final lap has begun for Lando Norris, who now pulled away over 5 seconds. The Lando has been doing a fantastic job. That it ties at the pace that he needed going to back in finals, but it didn't happen for him, which is tired of start. But he had to move on, and Lando to be going into the next season with a fantastic result. Potentially, we still got Abu Dhabi. If he win that, his confidence will be quite high, and he could be having a fantastic season in 2026. And Leclerc has been 4th place, and Piat somehow can still be doing a fantastic time. P5, I thought he'd be losing time to Jacqueline, but that's not the case. Fan win damage doesn't matter. The Piat, he's obviously doing a fantastic job with it, and Miata is catching Jack. He poured away from Taurus side, but unfortunately it's not these such a penalty gap. So Miata won't be finishing P7, he could be finishing P9 or maybe P10, depending what will go down as we go in the top of final tour and land. I know that they're coming out of the final tour onto the main slate, with all of the fantastic form he's been dealing with. Unlucky with not winning the World Championship, he win the Qatar long plank was still good enough, and Hamilton sat down Newton Tanona in third place and back on board with Miata, who now getting to the point of the puncher to be happening at any moment in time. But we're now coming to the final corner now, 74% on the fun lap, but we're still doing top the line to finish P9 at Albon, and Carlos put themselves ahead of Miata. P9 finish, it's still a point coming in. I'm happy about that. We pretty much could be staying ahead of a half. We still got Abu
Here's
Dhabi.
the checkered flag, and our winner has landed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
It was a joy to watch today, honestly, because the driver was clearly able to read the conditions well on track, to use the information properly from the team, and usually come up with the right solution at the right time.
It's time to bring out the bubbly and spray it around. It's our podium celebrations. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris.
Yes, it was a fantastic result. I know he is just like feeling a little bit annoyed with not the fact that he close start to match the championship, but it's that missed out in the Qatar spray. But overall, I really took me time for Lando Norris putting a good result, and it's now 34 points. As you can see, it doesn't make sense why he'd not be able to try to get that championship, and the Red Bull had pretty much won the construction championship as well. And Yuki Tsunoda in third place, a fantastic job for Yuki Tsunoda, brilliant job for Hamilton. His form started coming back, but unfortunately he entirely might not be seeing the masterpiece of Hamilton during 2026. I'm just sad that he retired a year early. So if he retired maybe 2027 fab, but he retired earlier than that. He's not going into the new era of a regulation change in 2026. But I'm going to end the episode, and I'll see you in Abu Dhabi, where we might be going over everything in the result performances that we can recap and knowing what should be happening in the Abu Dhabi long run. So thanks for watching. Please like and dislike my video. Do you want to appreciate it, and peace out.